peeps, it's Bonnie. I'm here again with a new video. In this video I thought I would talk to you guys about the differences between using an insulin pump and multiple daily injections. I am currently using a Medtronic 640G pump. I've had it for just over 2 years now. I personally absolutely love my pump. I think it is an absolutely amazing piece of technology, but I do understand that there are people out there that actually prefer the injections, that pumps just don't work with their lifestyle, or it's not as life-changing as what some people have experienced. So I thought I would talk about a few of the differences, and it's a little bit of a insulin pump versus multiple daily injections video, but obviously everyone has their own opinions, everyone has their own preferences. Unfortunately, there are some people that just cannot get hold of a pump and they desperately want one, and I am so incredibly sorry for you if you are in that position. I personally think that everyone should be entitled to have whichever form of insulin therapy they decide would suit them best. Really. So, I have the dog licking my armpit. This is not how I thought this video was going to go. So, the main thing with an insulin pump versus injections, so the pens. So the main thing is that with a pump, you have to wear it. It is attached to you 24/7, apart from when you decide to detach it to go in the shower or a bath or swim it, whatever you're going to detach it for. I think the general rule of thumb is that you can detach it for up to an hour. I have pushed it a little bit over an hour before, but typically I think it is about an hour. As a female, I can tell you now, wearing it when you're wearing a dress is irritating. It can be that you decide to change your outfit because you can just see the pump. It's not always right, especially if you're wearing a form-fitting dress and then you've got this lump on your side if you decide to clip it to the side of your bra, which I sometimes do, or if you decide to get a thigh holder, which I also have. Sometimes you can see that as well, and it just, I personally don't mind if people see it, if it's sticking out a bit. I just don't care anymore, but I know some people do, and that is a big issue for some people, is that when you're considering a pump, you do need to consider the fact that you are wearing it all day, every day. You need to find a way for you personally to wear it comfortably. Now, when I say you can see it, I am predominantly talking about those that have the cannulas and then you've got the tubing. There are pumps out there that are pods. I think that is what it's called actually, I'm not entirely sure. That is literally just the cannula and insulin all built in with a chip in it, I think. But again, I don't know an awful lot about those. So where you wear them versus where you can't wear them, I don't really know. Maybe I'll look that up and do that in another video. So yeah, that is a big thing. Whereas with an injection, although it takes up room in your bag if you're a female, or if you're a man and you don't typically take a bag out with you, you suddenly find that you have to have a bag with you all the time. Wouldn't bother my husband, he's always got a backpack on him. But I know some men just typically grab their keys, grab their wallet, in their pocket, go. When you're diabetic, you have got to think about other things that you've got to carry with you. So obviously with an injection, you've got to have needles, you've got to have the pen itself. I know some people use pre-injection swabs on their sites before they inject, some people don't. So it's things like that that you have to take into consideration. And yeah, so you're not wearing it all the time, but you've still got it with you. That is the thing. Like, no matter which one you decide is better for you, you're still going to have equipment with you. Now that brings me on to my next point about the pump. So, equipment wise, you have a lot more equipment with a pump than you do with an injection. So an injection, you typically have your pen, you have your needles that you screw on the end, and then once you use them, you throw them away. If you're a good person and very, very, very on top of it, you throw them away after one use and don't reuse them. If you're a typical person like I used to be, you used to reuse the needle. Yeah, so you've got your pen, which will have a cartridge in it. You might take an extra cartridge out with you if you're going away for a little while or whatever's going on. And you might want to take a, you can get little sharp spins, the portable ones. So you can take a portable sharp spin with you. That's pretty much all you're going to need in terms of insulin delivery. So with a pump, you would have on you, in case you need to change it, a vial of insulin. You would have a cannula, spare cannula with you. You maybe even two. You would also have a spare battery for the pump. So in case the battery dies or something happens, you've got a spare battery so it will continue to run. And also a reservoir. I had to look up there to see what they were called. Reservoir, so the thing that holds the insulin. And that can take up a hell of a lot more room than an insulin pen and some needles. So I can completely understand that part of it, and a lot of people not wanting to cart all of that extra stuff around with you. I can tell you, hand on heart, I am incredibly lucky. I've only ever had to do an emergency change with a battery once. I've only ever had to do a complete set change, I think 3 times in not 2.5 years, just over 2 years. And that includes the reservoir and all the insulin and everything. But I've had to do the occasional cannula changes. Typically they always happen when I'm at home though. I don't know if that's just me being lucky, or I just don't know. But I typically, when something goes wrong with the cannula, i.e. the tubing that goes inside gets a little bit bent, then it doesn't deliver the insulin properly, and so you get an alarm and stuff, and it just doesn't go through, and take it out, you see it's bent, and you go, oh, that's fine. Put a new one in, hunky-dory. So the next thing I was going to talk about was convenience. So my interpretation of the convenience of an insulin pump is that it is always on me. I can always pull it out and give myself a bolus without anyone really noticing. And when I was on injections, the amount of looks that I used to get, because I used to get on the train up to London quite often, and I would end up having my lunch on the train, so I'd be pulling out an injection and doing it on the train. I got to the point where I didn't care anymore. I used to try and take myself off to the toilet on the train, which absolutely stinks 90% of the time, and it's not exactly the most hygienic of places to be. But I used to do that because I used to think, oh, I don't want people staring at me, I don't want to draw attention to myself, blah 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 blah. I got over that, and I would whip my pen out and I would jab myself in the leg, arm, stomach, didn't matter. I would do it on the train. The amount of people that I actually had come up to me and tell me that I was being inappropriate, I was condoning the use of drugs in the public, and that I should be ashamed of myself, blew my mind, the amount of people that would have this ignorant view. And I would educate people. I have always been an advocate of, if you don't know, you don't know. So I'm going to tell you. I will inform you of what I am doing. if you are that involved that you have to say something, you should get to learn something too. And so I would explain to them, I'm a diabetic, I'm about to eat my lunch, and I needed to give myself insulin. That I didn't need to take myself away, that I'm not doing an illegal drug. But with a pump, no one even bats an eye, because it looks like you're getting out a pager. Pages are a bit dated, but it looks like you're getting out a gadget. It doesn't look like you're getting out something that looks a bit scary or anything like that. And I find that incredibly convenient. I still occasionally get people look and ask me what it is, but it's a lot different from people judging me and telling me off when I was doing the injections, as opposed to just having a gadget that's clearly got a tube attached to my stomach.